Hello guys, welcome to my channel S for Shivani. In this video, we are going to see how our approach should be towards a mid-review that happens halfway through your internship. Mid-reviews have a twofold purpose. Number one, they let the management see your progress on the project. And number two, if there is any course correction required, then now is the right time for that to be seen and pointed out. It is better to be proved wrong in the mid-review than to be embarrassed in the final review. So that is why mid-reviews need to be treated very seriously. I follow a three-pronged approach to any project, which is as follows. I ask myself these three questions. What has been done in the past? Where do we stand now? And what to do next and how? The answer to the first two questions should be solved by your mid-review, and the last one can be addressed in the final review. Let me now cover 6 aspects that need to be gone through thoroughly before appearing for the mid-review. In 1 month, the company expects you to know its business inside out. You should know how your vertical works and who are the key employees in that vertical. You should also know from where to get the resources required for your project and who can give you those resources. Make sure you contact all these people before going for the mid-review, and just in case any question is asked, you can always refer that this person was your source of information. It can also be possible that the person who was behind the original campaign is sitting for your interview. So if you have already met him, it will act in your favor. Now let me give you an example. If you're working for a toothpaste company, let's say, and you need to design a campaign on tooth sensitivity awareness. So you should know who was the person who originally came up with this idea, who is the person who is responsible for conducting the BTL activities on the field, and ultimately which team is handling the analysis of the insights that are coming so as to analyze whether the campaign was a success or not. Secondly, you should be done collecting data from around 70 to 80% of the decided sample size. You should also analyze the data collected for basic insights. If you are someone who is doing work from home internship or finding it tough to take out time to go on field for primary research, then you can refer my video on doing primary research by sitting at home. On this data collected, you can do some basis analysis. For example, you can use descriptive stats to come out with mean, median and mode and other such basic interpretations out of the data. You can also create customer segments using the demographic information that you have. You can create a buyer profile and show the customer journey, which is possible in the first month of the internship. You can also do a sentiment and emotion analysis on the data that you have collected. To know how you can do this easily on Excel, refer my video on sentiment and emotion analysis. When you begin the internship, the timeline of when you will be doing what looks very hazy. But by 1 month, the company expects that you are now clear with what you're going to do. So you should have a record of the past activities that you have undertaken. For example, if you've gone for some field visit or mystery shopping, you should have a record of the dates on which you went. And you should also have a tentative plan ready for the next month. If you plan to do a pilot for your internship, then now is the time to raise it in front of your mentor and it can be discussed at length in the mid-review. One thing to note is that not all projects require a pilot, especially the marketing projects. So it's alright if your mentor doesn't approve for one. This is no metric to judge whether your project is going in the right direction or not. This brings me to role of mentor in mid-review. Whatever you are going to present in the mid-review, make sure you run it to your mentor beforehand. Do not wait for the night before the mid-review to make a presentation. Do it beforehand and get it approved by your mentor. Also, ask your mentor how he wants the PPT to look like. For example, some companies like text-intensive, heavily loaded presentations, while some companies like clean slides with, let's say, 4-5 bullet points and a chart or a graph. So make sure that you are in line with what the company likes, and prefers in case of presentations. Incorporate the suggestions of your mentor and show him the final draft again. Also, it is a good idea to run the PPT through some 2-3 people whom you trust and who, let's say, have some experience in the domain that you are working on, and you can take their feedback and include that in the PPT if you wish. Some points to keep in mind regarding the presentation. Stick to the slide limit given to you. You can use animations to overlap slides. You can refer my video on how to make an attractive PowerPoint presentation for internships to see how animations can be used to overlap slides and save the space smartly. Time your presentation. You will be told beforehand how long the review will last. So for example, if you are given 15 minutes, then practice with a timer set for 15 minutes and ensure you cut down on the unnecessary details and your main point, your main strategy is brought out very clearly. Do not assume that a person sitting in front of you knows everything. He might be a senior personnel, but he needs to check your conceptual knowledge. So start with the beginning, start with the very basics of what you're working on, and then proceed towards the tough part. It is a good idea to carry a printout of the written script with you, so that if you feel you are getting stuck, you can always refer to that. You can also use the notes under the PowerPoint slides for reference in case you get stuck. If you have done some field visits, always carry their proof with you. If you met certain people, carry their visiting cards. If you had a telephonic interview, keep a recording of 2-3 people handy. And if you did an online survey, then ensure that you have all the entries neatly categorized and neatly formatted in an Excel file. Carry a notepad and a pen with you so that in case there is some suggestion that is being made, you note each and every one of them. Also, you can keep the extra information which you could not present in those slide limits as annexures. So annexures is a way in which you can present all the data that you have, some number crunching that you did, or some budget that you prepared for your project, and you can show that as extra information under annexures. Now this is a very dreaded situation. Like I said in the beginning, the entire point of having mid-review is that course correction can be taken. So when you're going for the review, be mentally prepared that any sort of thing can happen. When you're prepared for the worst, if anything good happens, you don't feel let down. So just in case this happens, your first approach should be sitting with your mentor and the reviewer together and aligning your project with what they are expecting. It may sometimes happen that your mentor and his or her boss may be on 2 different pages. It is your job to ensure that they are brought to the same page and whatever you are going to do now is satisfying the expectations of both of them. Ask questions, clarify all your doubts. Take contact of the reviewer and meet him separately. Do not begin the new approach unless and until you are sure of the deliverables. Do not be disheartened that all the effort that you have done till now is going into waste. You can always use the primary research data that you have collected to guide you towards the new deliverables now. Now it's time for some cheat code. So my first cheat code for you is that when you get an email for the mid-review, the names of the reviewers are sometimes mentioned. So make sure that you know about the background of the person who is coming to your review. For example, I worked for an ad campaign which was a corporate campaign for the entire company. So if in my interview, let's say someone from 2-wheeler segment and someone from 3-wheeler segment is also coming, I should know how this particular ad impacts both these segments. So in my mind, I am prepared for any kind of question that is going to come from these people. Secondly, never play defensive. So it happens that when we are being told that whatever we have done till now is completely trash and is of no use for the company, we tend to get defensive and try to answer them back. At this time, just listen to whatever is being told. As I said, note it down in your notepad and go separately and talk to the people who have raised those points. Mid-reviews are also a chance for the HRs to see if you are a cultural fit for the company. So you need to show that you are a very calm person and you are open to all sorts of criticisms. Having a control over your mind and your body language will take you a long way. So that is it for this video. I hope you liked it. In case you found something useful to take out of it, then like this video and subscribe to my channel.